For the past 6 years, I have been shopping at Walmart for emergency prep and long-term storage items. While everyone else is fighting over the same viral TikTok finds and panic buying the obvious stuff, I quietly grab items that last longer, cost less, and are always in stock. Number 14 is sitting in the Hispanic foods aisle at your local Walmart right now for under $4, and it will outlast almost everything in your pantry. The problem is that when everyone reads the same blogs and buys the same prepper lists, that is exactly what disappears first. Back in March 2020, I watched the canned goods aisle get cleared in 2 hours. But the items I am about to show you, still fully stocked the next day. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button right now because grocery prices are not coming down. And the stuff I share on this channel will save you hundreds every month while everyone else is overpaying for the same garbage. Number one is going to sound boring until you understand what it actually does. Carnation evaporated milk. Before you scroll past thinking this is just for pumpkin pie, let me tell you why this is absolute gold. One can of evaporated milk has 60% more calcium than regular milk and lasts 2 years on the shelf without refrigeration. Most people have no idea this exists because they are buying those bougie oat milk cartons that cost $6 and go bad in a week. Last winter during a 4-day power outage, here is exactly what happened in my house. No fresh milk. My kids still had cereal, coffee still had cream, and I made mac and cheese that tasted exactly like it should. Here is what I do. And I keep 12 cans rotated in my pantry at all times. Mix 1 can with 1 can of water and you have regular milk. Use it straight for creamy soups or sauces. A 12-ounce can costs $1.38 at Walmart. Meanwhile, people are dropping $5 on a half-gallon of regular milk that spoils in 8 days. And here's the kicker. Nobody panic buys evaporated milk. Ever. It sits there while people fight over the refrigerated section. Look, inflation is eating paychecks faster than most families can adjust. I have done the math for you and put together a free Walmart emergency pantry guide that lists the exact 20 items you need to keep your family fed for 3 weeks. It costs less than 2 grocery trips and requires zero special storage. You can grab it for free at the link in the description so you can stop guessing and start actually preparing. Number 2 is sitting in the baking aisle and most people walk right past it. Crisco all vegetable shortening. I know this sounds like something your grandmother used. Stay with me. A single tub of Crisco lasts indefinitely if stored correctly, provides over 110 calories per tablespoon, and your body needs fat to survive. Not wants. Needs. Fat is what keeps you warm, helps absorb vitamins, and prevents your brain from shutting down during stress. 3 years ago, I opened a tub I bought in 2019. Still perfect. No rancid smell. No weird texture. I used it to fry eggs during a weekend camping trip and it tasted like it came off the shelf yesterday. Here is how you use it. Frying, baking, greasing pans. I even emergency candles if you are desperate. A 6-pound tub costs $8.97. That is over 12,000 calories for less than $9. Freeze-dried meal companies charge $40 for 2,000 calories that taste like salted cardboard. And because Crisco is not trendy, not Instagram-worthy, and not mentioned in any viral prep video, it is always there. Number 3 lives in the canned vegetable section, and it is a nutrient powerhouse nobody talks about. Canned spinach. Before you make a face, hear me out. 1 cup of canned spinach gives you more iron than a steak, more calcium than a glass of milk, and costs 68 cents per can. Most preppers stock up on green beans and corn, which are fine, but they are nutritionally weak. Spinach is different. Last summer, I made a big batch of pasta and stirred in 2 cans of drained spinach with garlic and olive oil. My kids ate it without complaining. That never happens. Here is the dead simple method. Drain it, heat it, add butter and garlic. Or mix it into rice, eggs, soups, literally anything. A can lasts 5 years minimum. I have cans in my rotation from 2021 that are still solid. And when shortages hit, people ignore canned spinach because they think it is gross. That means more for you. Number 4 is going to sound strange, but this one changed everything for me. Walmart Great Value Chicken Bouillon Cubes. Not the liquid broth, the cubes. One small jar contains enough flavor and salt to make 50 quarts of broth, lasts longer than you or I will be alive if kept dry, and costs $2.24. A guy who worked food distribution for 17 years told me that bouillon is one of the most underrated shelf-stable items in existence. It is pure salt, fat, and MSG. That is not a bad thing. MSG is just concentrated umami. It makes bland food taste like real food. During a 2-week winter storm, I used these cubes to make rice taste like chicken, to flavor beans, to create soups from random pantry ingredients. Food monotony causes decision fatigue. Boring food makes you stupid when you need to be smart most. Here's what I do. 1 cube per 2 cups of water. Stir into rice while it is cooking. Add to canned vegetables. Use it to rehydrate freeze-dried meals and make them actually edible. And when I get to number 14, you are going to wonder why nobody ever mentions this combo together. Number 5 is in the Hispanic foods aisle, and it is criminally underpriced. Maseca instant corn masa flour. This is not cornmeal. This is masa. The difference matters. Masa is nixtamalized, which means the corn has been treated with lime to unlock nutrients your body cannot access otherwise. A 4-pound bag costs $3.68 and makes over 60 tortillas. But here is what most people miss. You can also make tamales, pupusas, gorditas, and thickeners for soups. I bought a bag 2 years ago, stored it in a sealed container, and used the last of it 3 months ago. No bugs, no rancid smell, perfect texture. Here is the simplest method. 2 cups masa, 1 1/4 cups warm water, pinch of salt. Mix. Let it rest 5 minutes. Form into balls and press flat. Cook on a dry skillet for 1 minute per side. Fresh tortillas in 10 minutes. No yeast, no rising, no babysitting dough. Meanwhile, people are buying frozen tortillas that cost $5 for 10 and take up freezer space. Masa sits on the shelf ignored because most Americans do not even know what it is. Number 6 is probably already in your cart and you are using it wrong. Walmart Great Value Long Grain White Rice. Not instant. Not the boil-in bag stuff. Just plain long grain white rice. A 20-pound bag costs $8.42. That is over 30,000 calories. But here is the insight nobody talks about. White rice lasts 30 years when stored in a food-grade bucket with an oxygen absorber. Brown rice goes rancid in 6 months because of the oils in the bran. White rice is stripped of that. It is pure starch. Your body converts it to energy fast. I have eaten rice I sealed in 2017. Tasted identical to fresh. Here's what I do. I buy one 20-pound bag every 2 months. I pour it into a 5-gallon bucket, toss in 2 oxygen absorbers, seal the lid, and forget about it. When I need rice, I pull from my rotation, and here is why this survives every shortage. Rice is boring. People buy it, but they do not hoard it like they hoard meat or toilet paper. It just sits there. Number 7 is in the condiment aisle, and it is a survival multi-tool disguised as a sandwich spread. Peanut butter. Specifically, Walmart Great Value Creamy Peanut Butter. Not the natural kind that separates, the hydrogenated kind. A 40-ounce jar costs $5.27, contains over 6,000 calories, and lasts 2 years unopened. I opened a jar from early 2022 last month. Perfect. No oil separation, no weird smell. Tasted exactly right. Here is why peanut butter is non-negotiable. It is fat, protein, and calories in one shelf-stable package. You can eat it straight from the jar with a spoon. You can mix it into oatmeal. You can make sauces. You can barter it. During a week-long power outage, my kids ate peanut butter and crackers for breakfast every single day and never complained once. Here is the method. Keep 4 jars rotating, 1 open in the pantry, 3 sealed in storage. Replace as you go. And because peanut butter is not glamorous, not trendy, and not featured in those ridiculous prepper haul videos, it is always available. Number 8 is something I ignored for years, and I felt like an idiot for not figuring this out sooner. Canned black beans. Walmart. Great value black beans cost 68 cents per can. One can has 15 grams of protein, 13 grams of fiber, and over 300 calories. But here's what makes black beans different from other canned beans. They hold their texture better, they taste good cold, and they mix into literally anything without making it weird. Last fall, I made black bean soup with 1 can of beans, 1 cube of chicken bouillon, half a can of diced tomatoes, and some cumin. Cost per serving was 34 cents. It tasted better than anything I could get at a restaurant. Here is the dead simple process. Open the can, drain and rinse if you want less sodium, heat and season. Or do not heat them at all. I have eaten black beans straight from the can during camping trips. They are fine. A case of 12 cans costs $8.16. That is over 3,000 calories. Meanwhile, preppers are spending $30 on a bucket of freeze-dried beans that require fuel and water to rehydrate. Number 9 is in the pasta aisle, and it is one of the cheapest calories per pound you will ever find. Walmart. Great value elbow macaroni. A 2-pound box costs $1.38. That is over 3,000 calories for less than $1.50. Pasta lasts indefinitely if kept dry. I have pasta in Mylar bags from 2018. Still perfect. Here is the trick most people do not think about. Pasta is a base. You can make it taste like anything depending on what you add. Butter and garlic, canned tomatoes and basil, chicken bouillon and frozen peas, evaporated milk and cheese powder. During a winter freeze, I made 15 different meals using the same box of elbow macaroni and whatever I had in the pantry. My family never got bored. Here is what I do. I keep 20 pounds of pasta stored in sealed containers. I rotate through it every 6 months. And because pasta is cheap and boring, nobody hoards it. It just quietly sits there while people fight over rice and canned soup. Number 10 is in the baking aisle, and it is a mineral supplement, a recipe ingredient, and a preservation tool all in one. Iodized table salt. Walmart. Great value. Iodized salt costs 54 cents for a 26-ounce container. Salt does not expire. Ever. I have salt I bought in 2016. It is fine. But here's what most people miss. Iodine. Your thyroid needs iodine to function. Without it, you get brain fog, weight gain, and eventually serious health problems. Most people do not get enough iodine because they use sea salt or Himalayan salt, which sounds fancy but contains 0 iodine. During shortages, iodized salt disappears slower than everything else because people do not understand what it does. Here is what I use it for. Cooking, preserving meat, making rehydration drinks, cleaning wounds in an emergency. A case of 12 containers costs $6.48. That is a lifetime supply of a mineral your body cannot make on its own. And because it is not sexy, not viral, and not expensive, it is always in stock. Number 11 is in the canned fruit section, and it is one of the smartest things you can stock. Canned pineapple and juice, not syrup. Walmart Great Value pineapple chunks in 100% juice cost $1.12 per can. One can gives you 100% of your daily vitamin C, natural sugars for energy, and enzymes that help digestion. I opened a can from 2020 during a cookout last summer. Tasted perfect. Here is why pineapple is different from other canned fruit. It does not get mushy. The acidity keeps it firm. You can eat it straight, mix it into rice for a sweet side, blend it into smoothies if you have power, or use the juice as a marinade. Last spring, I made pineapple fried rice with leftover white rice, a can of pineapple, some soy sauce, and scrambled eggs. My kids asked for it again the next week. Here's the method. Keep 6 cans rotating, use the juice, do not dump it. It is liquid gold for flavor, and because canned pineapple is not on any prepper list I have ever seen, it sits there untouched. Yet number 12 is hiding in the cereal aisle, and it is a breakfast solution that lasts forever. Walmart Great Value Old-Fashioned Oats. Not instant, not flavored, just plain rolled oats. A 42-ounce container costs $3.48. Oats stored in a sealed container last 10 years minimum. I have oats from 2019 that I used last month. No rancid smell, no bugs. Perfect. Here's the insight nobody talks about. Oats are not just for oatmeal. You can make no-bake cookies. You can grind them into flour. You can add them to meatloaf or burgers as a binder. You can eat them raw, mixed with peanut butter and honey. During a 3-day power outage, I made overnight oats by mixing oats with canned evaporated milk and a spoonful of sugar. Let it sit for an hour, no cooking required. My kids ate it cold and loved it. Here is what I do. I buy 2 containers every month. I store 1 sealed. I use 1 in rotation, and because oats are boring and old-fashioned, they never sell out. Number 13 is in the spice aisle, and it is one of the most versatile ingredients you can own. Garlic powder. Walmart. Great Value garlic powder costs $2.68 for a 5-ounce container. It lasts years. I have garlic powder from 2020 that still smells strong. Here's why garlic powder is a must. It makes bad food taste good. It makes bland food taste real. It is a natural antimicrobial. And it is shelf-stable. You cannot say that about fresh garlic, which sprouts or rots in 2 weeks. During a week-long winter storm, I used garlic powder in everything: rice, beans, canned vegetables, pasta, eggs, even popcorn. Here is the dead simple trick. Add a 1/4 teaspoon to anything savory. That is it. You do not need a recipe. You do not need fresh ingredients. You just need garlic powder and salt. And because spices are always overlooked during shortages, garlic powder sits there while people are fighting over meat and bread. Number 14 is in the Hispanic foods aisle, and this is the combo I mentioned earlier. Knorr Caldo de Pollo Bouillon, not the cubes, the powder. A 7.9-ounce jar costs $3.74 and makes over 40 servings of broth. This is different from the Great Value cubes because the flavor is richer and it dissolves faster. A guy I know who preps professionally told me he keeps 5 jars of this in rotation at all times. Here's why. 1 teaspoon of this powder and 2 cups of hot water makes broth that tastes like you simmered chicken for hours. I use it to cook rice, beans, pasta, and canned vegetables. Last winter, I made a pot of rice using caldo de pollo instead of water. My family thought I made chicken soup. I just smiled. Here is the method. 1 teaspoon per 2 cups of liquid. Stir. Done. And because most people do not shop the Hispanic foods aisle, this stuff is always there. Number 15 is in the baking section, and it is a fat source that beats almost everything else. Vegetable oil. Walmart Great Value. Vegetable oil costs $4.68 for a gallon. That is over 30,000 calories. Oil does not expire if stored in a cool, dark place. I have oil from 2021 that I used 2 weeks ago. No rancid smell, no weird taste. Here is the truth about fat. Your body burns carbs first, then fat, then protein. If you do not have fat, your body starts breaking down muscle. That is bad. Oil is pure fat. You can fry with it. You can make salad dressing. You can add it to rice or pasta for extra calories. You can even use it as lamp fuel in a true emergency. During a summer power outage, I made fried rice using day-old rice, vegetable oil, soy sauce, and frozen peas. It tasted better than takeout. Here is what I do. I keep 2 gallons sealed in my pantry. I rotate every year, and because oil is not exciting, it never sells out. Number 16 is in the canned meat section, and it is polarizing but incredibly effective. Canned Vienna sausages. Walmart Great Value. Vienna sausages cost $1.08 per can. 1 can has over 250 calories, 9 grams of protein, and it is ready to eat. No cooking, no rehydrating, no prep. I know people make fun of Vienna sausages. I do not care. During a weekend power outage, I ate them straight from the can with crackers. They tasted fine. My kids dipped them in ketchup and asked for more. Here is the real advantage. Shelf life of 5 years. High calorie density. Portable. You can throw a can in a bag and forget about it. Here is what I do. I keep a case of 12 in the garage. I check the dates once a year. I replace as needed. And because Vienna sausages are considered low class or weird, they never disappear during shortages. Number 17 is in the drink aisle, and it is a hydration and energy solution most people ignore. Walmart Great Value Drink Mix Powder, the kind you add to water. Now, a 19-ounce container costs $2.48 and makes 34 quarts. This is not just about flavor. This is about electrolytes, sugar, mental relief. During stressful situations, plain water gets boring. Boring leads to dehydration because people stop drinking. I learned this during a summer heat wave when my water intake dropped because I was sick of the taste of nothing. I mixed in some fruit punch powder and drank twice as much. Here is what I do. I keep 4 containers of different flavors. I rotate them. I use them to make water actually drinkable during emergencies. And because drink mix is cheap and not considered essential, it is always available. While everyone else is fighting over the same panic buy items and paying triple for freeze-dried garbage, you now know 17 items that are cheaper, I last longer, and will actually be in stock when you need them. These are not Instagram worthy. They are not trendy. And that is exactly why they work. Drop a comment telling me which of these you are going to stock up on first. I want to know if you are Team Evaporated Milk or Team Crisco. Next week, I am revealing the 12 tools everyone thinks are survival must-haves, but are actually completely useless in a real emergency. Trust me, you do not want to miss that one. But before we wrap up, I want to be real with you about something that matters. Everything I just shared is based on 6 years of actual experience, not theory. I have lived through power outages, supply chain disruptions, and real moments where having the right food meant the difference between my family eating normal meals and eating nothing. That changes your perspective on what preparedness actually means. The items on this list work because they solve real problems. They are not sexy. They will not get you engagement on social media. Nobody is going to film themselves eating canned spinach and get a million views. But your family will eat. Your kids will have protein. Your body will stay warm and functional. That matters infinitely more than looking prepared online. I also want to address something I hear all the time. People tell me they do not have room to store food. You do not need a basement or a garage. I have items in closets, under beds, in kitchen cabinets, and in sealed containers under the sink. Start small. Buy 1 extra item per shopping trip. In 3 months, you will have a month of food. In 6 months, you will have 2 months. In a year, you will have a legitimate buffer that costs nothing extra because you are just shifting when you buy things, not buying double. Another thing people say is that they do not know how to cook these items. That is actually good news because most of these ingredients are incredibly forgiving. Boil rice. Heat beans. Mix pasta with broth. Add garlic powder to literally everything. You do not need chef skills. You need salt, heat, and a way to open cans. If you can do that, you can feed your family on these items indefinitely. The psychological component is real too. When you have food in your house that lasts years, when you know your pantry is full of calories and nutrients that you can turn into actual meals, something shifts in your mind. You stop feeling anxious about the news. You stop panic buying when prices spike. You stop making decisions from a place of fear. You make decisions from a place of preparation. That alone is worth the effort. One more thing. Keep rotating these items. Do not just buy them and forget about them. Use them in your normal cooking. If you have evaporated milk in your pantry, use it in your coffee this week. Open a can of beans and make dinner tonight. Use the rice tomorrow. This is not about hiding food away. It is about buying things you actually eat, but buying them when they are cheap and keeping them when things get tight. It is called rotating your stock, and it is the difference between having a pantry and having a museum of old food. nobody eats. Start with the items that appeal to you most. If you love pasta, stock pasta, and the things that go with it. If you cook with rice, buy rice and bouillon cubes. If your family likes beans, get black beans and garlic powder. The best emergency pantry is one you will actually use, not one that sits there because you bought things you hate. And look, I know the world feels crazy right now. Prices keep climbing, supply chains feel fragile. It is easy to feel helpless, but you are not helpless. You have control over what you buy, when you buy it, and how you store it. That control is powerful. Every single item you put in your pantry today is insurance against uncertainty tomorrow. I want to thank you for watching this far. It means you actually care about taking care of your family. That puts you ahead of most people who just scroll past and do nothing. So, seriously, thank you for that. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button. I put out new content every single week about saving money on groceries, finding deals nobody else sees, and building a pantry that actually works. The next video is going to be about survival tools that are completely overhyped and honestly a waste of money. I am going to show you what actually works versus what people buy. Because it looks cool, you do not want to miss that. Drop a comment right now telling me your first move. Are you going to start with evaporated milk and rice? Are you going to hit the Hispanic foods aisle for masa and caldo de pollo? Or are you going to go all in and grab half of everything I mentioned today? I read every single comment and I want to know what resonates with you. Thank you again for being here. I will see you in the next